Joining me to discuss this issue are Olasunkanmi Arowolo, a lecturer, and Murakinyo Oluwagbemiga, an educational consultant. Thank you so much for joining me on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so let me begin with you. Do you agree that this Imo State's decision to restrict graduation ceremony to only primary 6 and SS2, do you think it's commendable at a point like this?
It is a very commendable effort because it is a strategic decision coming at this time, because it aligns with the design of the curriculum, which is the 6-3-3-4 system, because we have to measure things by their timelines. You understand? When there is you have achieved a particular feat at the end of a race, that's when you end the trophy, not in between the race. You are not meant to celebrate in between the race. So moving from nursery to primary school is just a minute and still within a particular threshold. So it is not yet worth celebrating. So it reflects a commitment to the street.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go. Yeah, it reflects a commitment to the 6-3-3-4 educational structure. And it clearly mentioned it now, at the end of primary school, graduates celebrate.
So do you not think that nursery and GSS3 ceremonies are unnecessary?
At the end of university, graduates celebrate, which is strategic and it is rightly appropriate.
So I was asking that, do you think that nursery and GS3 ceremonies are unnecessary? Or do you think they also serve motivational purposes?
It is unnecessary at this time, because you are designing and restructuring, reframing the mind of the children in certain way. So we have to practice delayed gratification, and that really will help us begin to.
So when you say delayed gratification, what do you mean?
When I say delayed gratification, I mean don't celebrate too quick. Don't enjoy your fruit before they are ripe. You understand? So you have to wait until when it is right.
Okay, so do you now think that government should regulate the social activities in this way as well? School social activities?
Well, I wouldn't say they should go to the extent of restricting other social activities. But in this case, it recognizes the financial burden it places on parents, and it aims to redirect the resources towards the learning outcomes rather than the social festivities that is attached to it.
All right, thank you so much, Olasunkanmi. Mr. Murakinyo, if you can hear me, I was talking about the Imo State Government. Education is the most powerful weapon for freedom and development. For through it, no one can enslave the mind of a child who has been taught to think. These are the words of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Nigeria's foremost statesman and education advocate, a message that continues to inspire the nation's pursuit of knowledge today. Welcome to another beautiful edition of Edu-Dialogue on Voice of the People Television, where we explore the policies, issues, and innovations shaping Nigeria's education sector. I'm Matthew Ogunsuada. Today on the program, we will be looking at two critical developments in Nigeria's education space. Firstly, the Imo State Government's ban on graduation parties for nursery and GSS3 students, allowing such ceremonies only at the primary 6 and SS3 levels. Also, we'll be looking at the federal government's new literacy drive, which aims to bring over 500,000 out-of-school children back to school and include cash transfers to mothers as part of the strategy. Let's begin with our first conversation. The Imo State Government has announced a ban on graduation ceremonies for nursery and junior secondary school 3 students. According to the Commissioner for Education, Professor Bernard Ike-Goha, the directive is meant to curb unnecessary expenses placed on parents and to refocus attention on the more significant milestones in education, namely the completion of primary school, that is primary 6, and the end of senior secondary school, that is SS3. Supporting the move, the National Orientation Agency, NOA, praised the state government for what it described as a bold and timely intervention. The NOA argued that such events, especially at nursery and SS3 levels, often encourage financial strain on parents, promote social pressure, and distract students from the real purpose of education. Instead, they urge schools to celebrate academic excellence in more cost-effective and meaningful ways. However, this policy has sparked debates across the education community, While some see it as a welcome reform to protect parents and students from commercialization, others argue that graduation ceremonies play an important cultural and motivational role in marking progress. With you, do you agree that this Imo State's decision to restrict graduation ceremony to only primary 6 and SS2, do you think it's commendable at a point like this?
It is a very commendable effort because it is a strategic decision coming at this time, because it aligns with the design of the curriculum, which is the 6-3-3-4 system, because we have to measure things by their by their timelines. You understand? When there is you have achieved a particular feat at the end of a race, that's when you end the trophy, not in between the race. You are not meant to celebrate in between the race. So moving from nursery to primary school is just a minute and still within a particular threshold. So it is not yet worth celebrating. So it reflects a commitment to the street.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go. Yeah, it reflects a commitment to the 6-3-3-4 educational structure. And you clearly mentioned it now, at the end of primary school, graduates celebrate.
So do you not think that nursery and GSS3 ceremonies are unnecessary? At the end of
university, graduates celebrate, which is strategic and it is rightly appropriate.
So I was asking that, do you think that nursery and GS3 ceremonies are unnecessary? Or do you think they also serve motivational purposes?
It is unnecessary at this time, because you are designing and restructuring, reframing the mind of the children in certain way. So we have to practice delayed gratification, and that really will help us begin to.
So when you say delayed gratification, what do you mean?
When I say delayed gratification, I mean don't celebrate too quick. Don't enjoy your fruit before they are ripe. You understand? So you have to wait until when it is right.
Okay, so do you not think that government should regulate the social activities in this way as well? School social activities?
Well, I wouldn't say they should go to the extent of restricting other social activities, but in this case, it recognizes the financial burden it places on parents, and it aims to redirect the resources towards the learning outcomes rather than the social festivities that is attached to it.
All right, thank you so much, Olasunkanmi. Mr. Morakinyo, if you can hear me, I was talking about the Imo State Government banning the GSS3 and then the nursery ceremony. How much financial burden do you think that these events actually place on parents? Because I know you work in the education sector.
Well, good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I need to make sure of that first. Okay, very good. Good morning. I think it's a big relief for parents. Some of these things, they have good intentions for parents. I quite agree with that. But in Nigeria, when things go unchecked, then you have abuse, you have extortion, and it's a form of generation of revenue, income for some of the schools. So while one side of me will agree with the fact that it's a good move by government to do that, it actually takes a lot of burden off parents. When you look at the cost of parents preparing their children for this so-called graduation, of moving into the next level of the academic journey. You see them have to pay money for graduation gown, for graduation outfits, lots of money, like things like that, just cost that just related to the process of having that program. So it's not significant, but at least it helps to keep some things in check, because the focus actually at that stage for children is it's a formative stage. There's really nothing to really celebrate from the child moving from pre-nursery classes to primary classes. These are formative age. In fact, learning at that point is it's not a thing of competition. Those students' achievement should be celebrated. You can just have that normal school events like faculty assemblies, recognition of good characters, good behavior, and things like that. But when it comes to bogus, extravagant graduation ceremony, I'm not in for that. Thank you.
All right. I wanted to ask, do you think that alternative low-cost recognition events should be a middle ground? That is, low-cost events, in the sense that even if nursery students or probably GSS3 students want to do graduation, it should be a form of low-cost event and not high-cost as a middle ground.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Schools can hold open days. They can have academic prize giving. I've mentioned that earlier on. Or they can even have class presentations that highlight learning without financial pressure. Like I said earlier on, for that age of education, it's still foundational. It's still the formative age of the child, of children. So a low cost recognition
All right. All right.
event is well organized. It's something that is achievable.
So don't you think that, Mr. Morakinyo, don't you think that students
would always
will
advise
feel
us to
that their
organize
achievements are not
our own
recognized?
mini outstanding learners awards?
I was saying, don't you think that students will feel that their achievements are not recognized after finishing nursery school or after finishing GSS school? How do you think the student will feel?
Well, do you want me to respond?
The truth of the matter is, like I said earlier, for children, they don't.
Go ahead.
Okay. Can I continue?
Please go ahead.
Yes,
okay. Thank you very much. The only thing I will say to that is that children cannot even think like that. A well-organized, low-cost recognition event, absolutely. Positive reinforcement, positive gratification, in the school hall to celebrate students' achievement. It's a low-cost project. Students, when they are still recognized, it's a landmark event. If you look at the stress children go through in some of these so-called graduation ceremonies, you would know that it's not even really for the children, but it's just for it means for some of these schools to get funds, to get money, and just unnecessary show off. You know, the way Africans do things, we just like to be extravagant at times. Thank you.
All right.
I would like
before
to
I come to you, before I come to you,
Okay.
Morakinyo, you told us about formative stage. So tell us those stages a child would go through. Before I come to Olasunkanmi, what are those stages that a child would go through? Okay, so I think he's having some network issue here. But let me come to you, Olasunkanmi. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was like, why, in our context in Africa, in Nigeria particularly, we like
Sorry, can I take that again?
Okay, let's Olasunkanmi land, then you go, Morakinyo.
Okay, we like celebrating, and these serve as motivation, but like Morakinyo have said, these children don't recognize this at this stage. They don't even know anything about it. If, for instance, in the UK where I live, I realized that the sticker system, just sticker reward, giving stickers alone means a lot for the kids. If you put sticker down, put money down, the child will pick sticker over money. It doesn't have to be expensive. We can look for low-cost events. Like it has rightly said, you can think about competitions, certify performance and achievement in the class, showcase talents, and invite parents to come. Yeah, that's a better way of celebrating. And it doesn't cost much. It just costs printing of certificates and using the all without any extra decorations or more. And even in class, they can host and recognize persons and have star of the week, the best in this subject of the week. When they are moving to the next level, who have done the best, you don't have to celebrate that much. You are going to incur more costs on the parents.
Thank you so much for that submission, Olasunkanmi. Morakinyo, so I was asking about the stages of a child. You told us about the formative stage. So I was asking you to enlighten our viewers about the stage of a child or of children. I think there are some technical glitch there. Can you hear me, Morakinyo? All right. Let me come to your last comment one more time. Do you think that is high time that... Okay, go ahead, Morakinyo. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. According to the Nigerian system,
I can hear you.
We have early child. Yes, I can hear you.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
I can hear you. I'm with you.
Please go ahead with your submission. All right.
Okay. Like I said, we have early childhood care, education, That's some of the formative stage of the academic journey of a child, the early childhood care and education. Then we have the basic education, which is broken down into lower basic, middle basic, and upper basic. Like the name implies, basic education, fundamental things a child needs to know, basic things, essential life skills, things nutrition, a round of applause, little gifts here and there, low cost budget celebration will actually do for the child. Then the child gradually moves on to senior secondary education. That's when they now start specializing. You have science, you have arts, you have commercial, and then you have tertiary. Now, this is similar to also what we have in some British systems being run in some Nigerian schools, where they have the early years foundation stage. We call it EYFS. Early years foundational stage, that's the nursery and reception. Then we have the primary education, which is key stage 1 and key stage 2. And like I said, at this level, it is the formative age. The fundamentals of learning, of surviving, of social skills are being picked up by children. And that's when you see subjects like health science, sensorial, behavioral, subjects that targeting the psychomotors, how students interact with ease or at immediate environment. So at this stage, like I said, it is formative. Then you have the secondary education, where you have the key stage 3, key stage 4, which is equivalent to key stage 4 is what is equivalent to our own SS3 YX. Then you have the post sixth form A-level programs. Then you have the higher education. So these things are in phases. So when a child gets to the university, you won't even know that. You would actually know that. So at this point, you can blow a trumpet. The child has gone through a very rigorous system of education, and you can celebrate the child.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that submission. Olasunkanmi, the final note, what role do you think that Parent-Teacher Association play in guiding decisions like this?
Oh, very good. That's a very strategic question you asked. You know, they play a significant role. They can help in co-designing all of these programs together. You know, think about cost-sensitive and meaningful ceremony that they can you know, put in place. This ensures that there is a buy-in and that it preserves the celebrity sort of spirit and while maintaining affordability in the system. So what I mean is that when the parents, the teachers, they come together, they come to agree. They know what is affordable, what is practicable. You understand? And they are able to measure the kind of pressure that such kind of events, all of this party puts on the parents, and they are able to, you know, synthesize to manage it. So they can have alternate system that can help, you know, make the reward system and celebration system integrated into the activities without having to organize ceremonies and more.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your submission, Olasunkanmi and Muraki. Well, you're still watching Edu-Dialogue on Voice of the People Television. We'll go on a quick break now, and when we return, we'll shift our second conversation of the day, which is the federal government's ambitious plan to reduce the number of out-of-school children. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the program. The federal government has rolled out a bold plan to tackle Nigeria's out-of-school children crisis. The initiative targets 500,000 children with a special focus on 1 million girls through a nationwide literacy and basic education program. The aim is to provide these children with foundational reading and numeracy skills to prepare them for mainstream education. In addition, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, through the Basic Education Transformation Agenda, announced a cash transfer scheme to mothers of school-age children. The logic is simple. By providing financial support directly to families, children will be less likely to be kept at home for economic reasons, such as hawking or house chores. The policy is also expected to reduce child marriage and increase school enrollment among girls. Education stakeholders, however, have raised questions about the implementation. The question is, will the funds truly reach the intended beneficiaries? How will literacy centers be established and staffed across rural communities? And will this initiative succeed where past intervention have still failed? Well, I still have my guests, Muraki Oluwagbemiga and of course Olasunkanmi Arowolo, that will help us have sense of this discussion. Olasunkanmi, let me come to you. Do you think that the federal government's literacy drive will reduce the Nigeria's out-of-school population?
Because, you can't be hungry and be ready to learn. You need to be able to, go there without having to worry about what you eat and what you drink. And in fact, it will be a drive. It is something that has worked in other countries of the world. So it will work. Right here, even in the UK, at the college system, close to the university level, that is the KS4, like my brother rightly identified, there are provisions, there are kitchens where people who have challenges, who don't have food at home, who have not taken breakfast, they can just walk in, have breakfast, and they go to class. I think it's the right move if they are able to monitor it and ensure that the content is achieved.
So, Morakinyo, do you now think that the cash transfer program will truly help keep children in school?
Yes, it can, but the truth needs to be told. It can, but only if it is transparent and consistent. Parents must trust the support is real and reliable. And like Olasunkanmi said, in UK, there things are like the policies are not just announced; they are not just declared to the public. They follow through, and it is very thorough. It is very thorough. There's a short-term plan and there's a long-term plan. It's not something we do and we abandon. That's just the truth. It's a very good one, but if only it is transparent and it is consistent. And the consistency I'm talking about is something that can run for 5 years. Because if we start now in Nigeria, before we start seeing the results, before we start seeing children off the street, before you start seeing girls interested in education, before you start seeing parents allowing their children to go to school, it must have been proven for at least 2-3 years. Then everybody can now start planning. Oh, there's a school in my neighborhood. The plan has been going on for 3 years. Even if I don't have much, my child can go, can get some basic education, develop some level of formal skills, and can gradually go on from there.
All right. Let me come to you, Oluwafemi. Thank you so much for joining me on the program. How do you think the government can ensure transparency and accountability in the cash disbursement process?
Thank you, Matthew, for having me. In terms of accountability and the program, what I think the government can do is make sure that every family that's supposed to benefit from this are actually getting it. And how would that happen? This money should be transferred electronically so that it can be traced, and in such a way the BVN of every beneficiaries are being collected, and they can easily monitor the in and out of the cash fund.
So what role do you now think local communities should play, apart from the transparency aspect which you have highlighted that has to do with the electronic transfer? Do you think that local communities should be also involved in identifying beneficiaries of this initiative?
It has a big role and a very important role in all of this, because when we talk of family, we're talking of the local, like we're actually down to the local. So the local communities knows how to identify the family that actually needs this fund. They can easily identify, okay, this family is well to do, this family is a bit not okay. So the local communities can easily identify which family actually needs the support. They can easily identify them, and then they can easily harness the fund necessary to them.
Beautiful. Okay, so I know you are the CEO of Gleam Life Initiative, one of the NGOs that is dedicated to raising awareness about out-of-school children and helping people, of course, discover their purpose. What role have you been playing in maintaining the sustainable development goals and in making sure that students are properly educated in your own way?
What we've done over the years is try to identify every student that is unable to pay their school fees, and then because we emphasize on education so much, we try as much as possible to make sure that no students drop out of school. And in that regard, what we do is try to identify their problem, which is majorly about tuition fee, everything that borders around funds. And then we try to make available those funds, and then we make sure that they are kept in school, because we prioritize education so much. So that is who we've been playing.
Education should be prioritized. Thank you so much, Femi. Let me come to you, Morakinyo. How do you think this program would impact child labor and early marriage practices?
Okay, that's a very big one. It will definitely have a great effect. Once children are out of the streets, then you definitely know that it's a better proposition. Yeah, and idle hand is the devil's workshop. So definitely it will have a great impact on teenage pregnancy or childhood early childhood marriage. Now, what do I mean? Now, this is how it looks like. When children are kept in school, their focus, their attention shifts away from vice habits. When children are gainfully engaged, when skills are developed, when student interest is stirred up in learning, like the focus is learning, developing skill, making them an important part of the society, of the community, that they know that they have to contribute to this society. They are part of a system that should work. Their attention gradually shifts away from all those vice habits, and they are actually kept out of reach of people in the society that have evil agenda for children. If children are kept in schools, they are occupied, they are engaged. It takes them off the streets. So it removes at least the fourth layer of exposure to drugs, to harassment, to abuse, to rape, and things like that.
Which is one of the things that should be curbed among children. On a final note, Olasunkanmi, what long-term policy would you propose should be needed to ensure that children remain in school beyond basic literacy?
Beyond basically
literacy. Beyond basic literacy. Yeah, what are the skills, what are the policies that you propose to ensure children remain in school?
Put structures in place. When I talk about structures, sustainable investment in secondary school, vocational pathway, like in fact the government have just recently introduced, and also to ensure that there is a safe environment, gender sensitive policies that will sort of help us balance the dichotomy between the male gender and the female gender. It is a serious mess, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. So we need to look at that and have a referral system where people in the community can refer families who truly need support, and they pick up this system using a unified tracking system like the BVN system. So we can holistically approach things using data that we have control over, not just reaching out to third parties to reach out to people. By so doing, you'll see that the failure that we recorded in National Social Investment Program will also be seen. It is also evident in the NEL Fund thing, where you find some universities taking advantage of the system. So we have to put a clear, transparent system in place, a clearly defined policy that can help us make sense and help us see through what is happening part time.
A clear transparency and of course a clear system in place. Thank you so much, Olasunkanmi Arowolo, Morakinyo, and Femi Deyon for your contribution on the program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. You're still watching Edu-Dialogue on Voice of the People Television. We'll take a quick break now, and when we return, we'll bring you some top stories making the headlines this week in the education sector. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the program. Let's now take some top stories from the education sector. The Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, TRCN, has announced plans to roll out contextualized AI-generated lesson plans for schools nationwide. TRCN Registrar Dr. Ronke Soyombo disclosed this in Abuja during the signing of a memorandum of understanding with Gmind AI, explaining that the initiative is designed to transform lesson preparation and improve teaching quality across the country. Under the partnership, an artificial intelligence-powered platform will be developed to deliver tailored and simulated lesson plans for Nigerian classrooms. She further revealed that the new platform will officially launch on October 6th, shortly after the unveiling of the TRCN's multilingual website on August 25th, 2025. The Anambra State Government has dismissed 8 operatives of the Agune Chamber security outfit over the brutal assault and public stripping of a female corps member, Miss Jennifer Elobo. Governor Chukwuma Soludo's Special Advisor on Community Security, Ken Emiakai, announced the dismissal in Oka, stressing that the operatives acted totally outside the mandate of the agency. He further added that the Soludo administration has already paid the victim's medical bill, replaced a damaged laptop and phone. He further said that the administration has issued a public apology to her family, the NYSC, and Nigerians at large. The Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs has commended Katsina State Governor Dr. Diko Umar for reintroducing Christian religious studies in primary and secondary schools. The council said the move reflects equity, fairness, and justice in the Islamic principle, while explaining that Islam upholds the rights of religious minorities and safeguards freedom of belief and worship. Additionally, the NSCIA urged governors in the Southeast, South-South, and parts of the Southwest, where Islamic religious studies is prohibited, to emulate the Katsina model by allowing both faith equal expression in schools. In a historic milestone, Ayomide Adegboro, a first-class 300-level student of mass communication at the University of Lagos, has been elected the first-ever president of the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies. Ayomide, who previously served as the vice president of the Mass Communication Students Association, is a 2-time Jim Ovia Scholarship recipient and placed 4th in the 2024 Campus Challenge competition representing the University of Lagos. After his election, he pledged to lead with the guiding principle of 3 I's: infrastructure, integration, and insight. His plans include strengthening academic infrastructure, integrating student initiative across the faculty, and fostering innovation through a grade redress desk, scholarships, and academic aid. His election is already being celebrated as a beacon of leadership for youth in the academia. And that's a wrap on today's edition of EduDialogue on Voice of the People Television. But before we go, remember this: when you educate one child, you don't just change their future, you transform an entire community. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on all other social media platforms, we are at VOPTV Live. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. So, send your eyewitness reports, event coverage requests, photos or videos directly via WhatsApp to 081-460-64057. You can also reach our newsroom by email at news@vop.ng. I'm Matthew Ogunsuada saying thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.